Hey y'all, it's your girl Mayan again. For those that do not know who I am a hairstylist, I'm a trichologist, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a real estate agent here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm an investor, and I'm a mom, I'm a wife. I do a lot of things, okay? So I have not posted a video in a while, and you guys been having comments about hair care, comments about what's your porosity, hair porosity, what products you need to use. So I was like, this video is well overdue. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit of explain to you guys. I'm gonna explain to you guys the difference between high, low, and normal porosity because for some reason everyone thinks that you either have low or high. There are people that have normal hair porosity, okay? But we're going to talk about that later. And I'm going to give you guys a basic routine regimen that you can follow to help you get to your healthy hair goals. So today I'm doing some real estate content and stuff, but like I said, this video is well overdue. So this is the closest thing I can find. I was looking for some blinds, but we don't have any blinds here. So this will be our blinds. Okay, so if you have low porosity hair, think like pretend these are blinds and they're closed, right? So when you have low porosity hair, your hair cuticle, which is the first layer of your hair, is closed, right? So which makes it hard for water, product, moisture, and things like that to penetrate. So with low porosity hair, you don't want to use high porosity products, which are heavy oils, butters, a lot of protein, because you don't want anything that's going to cause it to be even more difficult for water to penetrate the hair cuticle because they're already closed, right? Now, when it comes to high porosity hair, your hair looks just like this. The cuticles are laid open. They're wide open, which makes it easy for water to penetrate. So if I were to throw some water here, it'll go straight into your hair, right? But it's also hard to retain moisture and water hydration. Just as fast as it goes in, it comes out. So that is considered high porosity hair. Most people that have high porosity hair is usually done by chemicals, heat damage, and just poor hair care, right? So if you have high porosity hair, you want to use a lot more protein, which actually fills these holes, right? So that water and your products has something to grasp to. Does that make sense? That is high porosity, right? You want to layer on your products and you want to use heavy leave-in conditioners. You want to use heavy butters, oils, and things like that to prevent the water from leaving the hair. So that's high porosity. Normal porosity is just a balance of both. Your hair retains moisture, it's easily to be hydrated, and it's a good balance. Low porosity, high porosity may not be something that you are doing. It may be genetics. Some people are just born with low porosity hair. My son has low porosity hair. He has like this pretty sandy brown hair. It's a light in color, but it's prone to being dry. It does not curl easily because it doesn't get the hydration and the moisture to make the coils, if that makes sense. On the other hand, I have high porosity hair where my hair dries very quickly. When I wash my hair and I walk around the house, my hair dries really quickly, right? But I can make my hair become normal porosity by using the correct products to make my hair become more healthy. So I use heavier leave-ins. I use a good amount of protein and moisture when deep conditioning my hair to help my hair balance to kind of get over to normal porosity. So that is what the difference is. You can test your hair and do the water test, but I've noticed that a lot of my clients or customers that do this test always think they have low porosity hair. And it's because y'all hair is dirty. So you have to make sure you do this on clean hair. Do this on clean hair. Make sure your hair is clean. You could take a piece of hair and dip it in the water. If it floats, you have low porosity. If it goes to the bottom, you have high porosity. If it kind of stays in the middle, you have normal. So that's how you can use that test. I don't really like that test so much because people usually have a lot of buildup on their hair and they don't know how to remove it, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's kind of a breakdown, quick, easy breakdown on low, normal, and high porosity. If you have any questions, put them in the comments and I will try to address them in a new video or I will address them in the comments. Y'all have to excuse me. My voice is just not coming back. So I'm drinking me some, this is actually some coffee. This is skinny vanilla latte with oat milk. It's so good. Don't say I never put you on. Okay. So back to the routine. So a lot of people, y'all see I post a lot of my shorts when I talk about scalp issues, scalp health and everything, right? So if you are having some scalp inflammation or if you have a lot of buildup on your scalp, dandruff and things like that, it's a good practice to use a antifungal or dandruff shampoo. Now it depends on the condition, right? So you have psoriasis, you have seborrheic dermatitis. Those those are two different things, right? So you would want to use a shampoo dedicated to psoriasis or something that's dedicated to seborrheic dermatitis. Okay, so we're just going to talk about dandruff, dry, scaly, yellow scalp. If you shampoo your hair and you feel like the dandruff comes back in like 1 or 2 days and it's not sandy, it's more of like a moisture texture, it's probably seborrheic dermatitis. Without me seeing y'all scalp, it's really hard for me to tell you what I think it is. So you might want to go to a dermatologist or a trichologist, or you could book something virtually. So if you do have seborrheic dermatitis, I recommend to use Nizoral, which is an over-the-counter shampoo that has 1% of kintosol. I can never say it. You're gonna let that sit on your scalp for 10 minutes. You're focusing on your scalp. It will kind of make your hair dry because it's an active ingredient in it that's going to help with your scalp. If that doesn't work, then you may need to go to the dermatologist to get something different. I do salon treatments, but if you're not local, because a lot of you guys are not, that's what I recommend. So you will do that first in your hair care routine. Okay, let that sit on for 10 minutes, and then you're going to follow with a moisture or strengthening shampoo. So if you have low porosity hair, you would want to do a light clarify shampoo first before you do the moisture or the strengthening shampoo. So it really just depends on your hair, what you got going on your hair, right? So say you didn't have any scalp issues going on. You just need to get your hair healthy, right? So if you have low porosity hair, start with a light clarifying shampoo to remove all buildup so that the products that you're going to use after is going to penetrate and actually work on your hair. Okay. So clarify your hair with a professional product. I am not going to stress this enough. I am a professional girly. I am a cosmetologist. I have a license. I'm only going to recommend products that I know work, and they're going to cost a little bit more, but they're going to be quality products. And when you get quality products, you don't have to use a lot. You literally can use a dime size. And if you use more than a dime size, you need to rewash your hair and do it again. Okay. So we're going to use a light clarifying shampoo, and then depending on where your hair is in your journey, you're going to either use a moisture shampoo, which is usually creamy, or you're going to use a strengthening shampoo, which is like a Olaplex or a Amika Cure collection, something that says reconstruction has some bond builders or protein for your hair if your hair is damaged, weak, and brittle. But you're still going to need moisture, right? So what I recommend is you should be shampooing your hair every week or 2 weeks if you don't have a long-term protective stylet. So rotate between a moisture shampoo conditioner and then rotate to the strengthening shampoo the next time. So does that make sense? Go back and forth, right? And then after you're done with that, you should be deep conditioning your hair, not every time because you don't want moisture fatigue. Depending on your hair, once again, you would do low porosity, you would probably deep condition 2 times a month. If you have high porosity hair, you can deep condition once or twice a month. If you have normal, once a month. It really just depends on your hair, right? And what it needs. So when I say deep condition, that's either using some type of heating element. You need to use either a heated dryer with a cap, a steamer that gets warm. Please do not just put the deep conditioner on your hair and walk around the house with a cap. You're not deep conditioning. You need some type of heat that's going to open up that first layer of the hair cuticle and penetrate that product, especially those with low porosity hair, because once we discussed before, your cuticles are closed. The heat actually raises them so that the product can't penetrate. So with low porosity hair, at any time, you need to use heat when deep conditioning your hair. Okay. So after that, you have your shampoo, you have your deep conditioner. When you're done with that, you want to rinse with cool water because that closes the hair cuticle. Then you want to use a leave-in conditioner. Once again, depending on your hair porosity and what you have going on with your hair. Always, always, always use leave-in conditioners. I don't care if you have low, normal, or high. You need to make sure that your hair is moisturized. And this is very, very important for all my curly African American textured hair. We need that because we don't want our hair to get overly dry. So I have a few videos of the ones that I recommend. I have like Amika, I like Mazzani, I like Issa 10. I have a lot of them that I do recommend. So always remember to use leave-in conditioners. Also, you can have some leave-in conditioners that has heat protective properties as well as UV protection. Yes, UV protection, that is definitely a thing. So the hot months when the sun is beaming, or depending on where you are in the country, you need to protect your hair from the sun, just like we protect our skin from the sun with sunscreen. We have to protect our hair as well. So that is why it's important to use a leave-in conditioner. Once you use your leave-in conditioner, if you don't have any scalp issues, you're gonna go straight into using a heat protector. But if you do have a scalp issue, then you can use some scalp serum, either for dry, itchy scalp, or if you have some hair thinning and you have a topical that's water based, you want to use that before you apply any other products to your hair or if you dry your hair. So if you, depending on if you are wearing your hair in a wet set or in a dry set, you want to make sure you apply your oil. I don't care what nobody say. You cannot put oil and water together on your hair and think it's not going to fight against each other, okay? If I took some water and I dropped some oil in the cup of water, the oil is going to float. Okay, so why would you want to put that on your hair and you know it's not penetrating? Wait until your hair is dry and apply the oil to seal in the moisture, the water, the hydration into the hair. You want to put that on top of it so it'll stay in, if that makes sense. Okay. I think that's all. So depending on the style, of course, if you're going to do like a curly style or a wet style, or you have a child like my daughter, after I do the leave-in conditioner, I put in her cream. I put a cream in her hair, and then I use a gel. And then once I'm done and it's kind of dry, then I apply the oil on top of it. And then throughout the week, if I need to refresh her hair, I do not reapply the cream and things like that. I have a curl refresher or a hair refresher, which is like a leave-in conditioner that kind of helps hydrate the hair. I don't just use plain water because plain water can sometimes dry your hair out. So I use that on her hair, and then if I need a little bit of oil, I'll put some oil on it once it's dry as well to give it a little shine. I do believe that when it comes to length retention, you can't just leave your hair in its natural state and not do anything. A stretched look, stretched hair always does better with length retention, with healthy length retention. So blow drying your hair with heat is not going to damage your hair if you're using the correct products and you're layering on your products like you're supposed to. So all my clients that want length retention, we either blow it out and then we do mini twist, or they do mini twist at home, or you could blow it out and you can put it in a ponytail and twist your hair, like twist it in a circle, like twist it down because you want to protect the ends, and then put it in a bun, right? Keep your ends trimmed, and you'll reach your hair goal. If length is your goal, you'll reach that faster if you keep your ends trimmed and your hair is healthy, okay? So if you guys have any questions about a hair care routine, products, go look at some of my other videos where I recommend products like leave-in conditioners, products for low or high porosity hair. I have a lot of shorts and videos where I recommend products, and also visit my Amazon storefront. I have styling tools on there. I have hair care products on there. They're all professional products. I have some styling products that I like that are not professional products that are catered to us that I use on my daughter as well. And I really, really like. I have that also on my Amazon storefront. But I hope I answered most of y'all questions because I do ramble sometimes, and I should have had like a list or something. But I'm just talking to y'all like I would talk to my clients and my customers, except y'all are not asking me questions back. So if you have a question, comment them below and I will try to answer them if I did not answer them here on this video.